I teach at Culinary Arts classes, and I'm also a member of the Student Services team here as the solution creator. And I'm just going to share a PowerPoint that I have about the Culinary Arts program. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. So I just have the college mission on here because it's kind of the basis for all of our programs here at the college. So our mission is to provide Anishinaabe communities with post-secondary and continuing education while advancing the language, culture, and history of the Ojibwe. So the certificate for the Culinary Arts is a year-long program. Students should have an interest in food prep, cooking, all that kind of stuff. The ability to adhere to stringent guidelines in food safety. Food safety is really important in this program and just cooking in general. So, you want to be interested in that and make sure that's kind of part of why you want to do this. And then commitment to quality customer service. Even if you are cooking in the back of the house of a restaurant, you still want to have customer service and keep that in the forefront of why you're doing it, because if you're cooking in a restaurant and the customers are coming in for that food, you want to make sure you're doing it for them and providing a good service. So this is the degree plan for the certificate. Like I said, it's a year long, it's 2 semesters, fall and spring, total of 30 credits. In the fall, you would take a business course, which is the introduction to hospitality industry, and then 2 of the culinary courses, which I teach, the food handling, food safety and sanitation, and then the intro to cooking methods course. And part of that is online, so that's why it says online on there. But we do a lot of that in person, a lot of field trips, a lot of guests coming in to talk. And then there's an English course, college writing, and then there's a sociology of food, culture, and society course. So that's what the fall semester looks like. And then if you pass all those courses in the spring, you'd have pantry fundamentals with me, protein selections and utilization, culinary fundamentals, and then the culinary internship, which students in the past have done through the cafe here. Otherwise, we could partner with a restaurant in the area. That is another option. So that would be a great way to get your foot in the door in a restaurant. And hopefully you could get a job with them when you're done with your certificate. The other course is a math for food industry professionals, and then intro to Ojibwe culture. So just have the program details on here, and this can be found on our website. All of this information can under the program or academic programs. So I'll just briefly kind of talk about this, but the program is designed to provide the student with knowledge and skills required for supervisory level work as a culinary professional. Graduates of the program will have completed training in advanced cooking, baking, and pantry methods, learning techniques in the production of hot and cold foods. So that would be in our pantry fundamentals course, and then as well as butchery, and that would be in the protein class, which we do a lot of work with meat and how to cut it properly. So learn a lot in there. And then the curriculum for the courses integrates sustainable agriculture, and then the culinary education, and then also traditional indigenous foods. So that's a big part of the program and kind of why I stated the mission before, learning about traditional Ojibwe foods and indigenous foods is a big part of it. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Healthy eating, stewardship of natural resources, and the importance of responsible harvest. So that's a really big part of the program and trying to incorporate that, more and more. And we do some of our classes at the college farm. So that really ties into that with the natural resources and sustainable agriculture part of this program. So what to expect from this program? Like I said, it's 2 semesters, fall and spring, 30 credits. A really big part of it is learning from local chefs. They come here and we bring them into the classroom when we make meals with them. They'll show us some basic knife skills, or if they have a specialty, they'll teach you about that. We will also go to their restaurant and learn from them there. Last year we did a tour at a chef's restaurant, and he showed us around and how he operates. So it's a really great way to learn. Right here in our area, we have really great chefs. So that's a big part of the program. And then, like I said, we incorporate traditional indigenous foods. So we do a lot of cooking with wild rice, try and do some cooking with venison and fish. And we try to go out and harvest if we can. I'm not an expert in that area, but I try and bring in people who are, and we go out and then cook with that food when we're done. Another part is participating in like food expos and events or going to conferences. With COVID, it was hard to do this, but the previous year we were able to go to a couple of events. And this picture is the culinary students at a Epicurean Award to support scholars event. That was through the American Indian College Fund. So we made wild rice crackers and then had two different condiments. We made a cranberry salsa, and then we made a butternut squash hummus. And we actually used the squash from our college farm. So that was a really cool event for us to go to. And then there were 4 other chefs there from the Twin Cities area, and they use indigenous ingredients as well to make their dishes. So it was a really good experience for the students. They, got to bring the food that we made, and people got to walk around and try it and talk to the students about the program and what they're learning. So it was really cool. And they also got to learn a lot from the chefs that were there too, and kind of got to network. So it's a really good experience for them. And what can you do with this certificate? So working in a restaurant, I mean, that's, kind of an obvious one, but you could be a prep cook, line cook, and depending on the restaurant, you could be an assistant manager possibly, or a sous chef. So that's the step down from the head chef. But you could kind of be an assistant to them, help them with prep and cooking and planning menus. So it depends on the restaurant, what they're looking for, but you could be qualified to do any of those. The catering business, those are getting a lot more popular too. There's a few in this area that you could work for, or you could start your own. You have a lot of opportunity with this, and if you wanted to do something in it or making your own business, we have a business program here too. So if you wanted to kind of do both, that would definitely be an option. Food truck, you could start your own. You could work for a food truck and kind of learn the ropes and then start your own. Those are getting very popular, especially with COVID. People kind of realize that, having something like that might be better, because then you don't have to sit in the restaurant. You can get your food and go. So that's definitely an option. And then teaching ServSafe courses. So through the Culinary 101 course, you would get your ServSafe certificate. And then you can actually go on further and become certified to teach the course. And then you can do that kind of on the side and get paid for teaching those courses. You could work in school food service. So, making school lunches at our local schools, the public schools, K through 12. You could also be a manager of those, helping make the menu, ordering the food. So you would be qualified to do that. Or working in a hospital or assisted living facility in their food service department. So, again, kind of similar thing, making the food, helping plan the menu. And in those types of jobs, you really have to be careful with food prep, the food safety, all of that. You have to follow those rules really closely and make sure that's, making sure you're following that, because that's a really important part. And just a few highlights. Like I said, local chefs will come in and work with the class, teach them something, kind of specific that they know or their specialty. So this is Chef Chris Ray. He owns a catering business, and he came in to our classroom, and we made a shrimp etouffee, and it turned out great. And he taught some basic knife skills and some particular cuts for certain kinds of vegetables, which is really interesting. So it's great to have these local chefs here who are so knowledgeable and can help our students learn. And then this was the other event we went to with the students. So like I mentioned, we went to the one in the Twin Cities, and then this Eats event was in Denver. So we actually got to fly to Denver. We were there for a couple of days. This time the students didn't make any food because it was hard for us to try and bring it on the plane, but there were 4 chefs at that event as well. So each of the students got to partner with one of the chefs that were there and got to help them throughout the whole event, help them serve, learn from them. So it was really, really great opportunity for them. And then we had our own table set up with information. So we got to network with other people who are attending the event. And it was all about Indigenous foods. So again, the students got to learn a lot about that. And then this is another highlight. Like I said, incorporating the Indigenous foods and Ojibwe culture. So we went wild ricing this fall a couple of times, and it's really important to learn the other side. So we get to cook with the food, but learning about where we actually get it from and how do we get it sustainably. So we went wild ricing, and it was really fun. We had a great day. The picture on the left is our wild rice after we brought it back and cleaned it up. And that was just really fun. And I think it's really important for everyone to kind of, learn how we get our food and the best way to get it. And I think that is all I have. If anyone ever has any questions for me, feel free to reach out. My email is eberger@lco.edu. And my extension is 142 at the college.